Georgia O'Keeffe was born on November 15, 1887, in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Her father was Francis Frank O'Keeffe. He was a farmer whose family had immigrated to the United States from Ireland. Georgia's mother was Ida Toto. Her family had come to the United States from Hungary. Ida was a strong, bright woman who had hoped to be a doctor. But when she married Frank, she left school to help with the family farm. Even though Ida had given up her own education, she made sure her daughters, as well as her sons, were educated, and she taught them to be strong and independent. Georgia was the first girl born to Frank and Ida, and the second child of 7. She had an older brother, a younger brother, and 4 younger sisters. It was normal for farmers to have large families. They needed lots of hands to help with the farm work. The O'Keeffe's farm was a dairy farm. They had many cows, but they also grew corn, oats, and hay. Georgia's brothers helped their father with the animals and the crops on the farm. Georgia and her sisters helped their mother look after the house, cook, clean, and tend to the family's vegetable garden. Even though there was a lot of work to do on the farm, Georgia's mother made sure that Georgia and her siblings had the opportunity to learn. Mrs. O'Keeffe read to her children all the time. She read them adventure stories and tales about cowboys in the Wild West. Georgia was fascinated. She imagined what it might be like to live out on the prairies and deserts in the western United States. Georgia's mother not only wanted her daughters to get an education, she also wanted them to have the chance to work and have a career. She hoped Georgia and her sisters would have opportunities to be more than just farmers' wives. So when Georgia was 11 years old, her mother signed up Georgia and 2 of her sisters to take art lessons. Georgia loved the classes and showed a talent for both drawing and painting. Georgia spent a lot of time on her own on the farm. The 200-acre property gave her a chance for privacy and solitude. Later in her life, Georgia would say, "I don't take easily to being with people." The trees, animals, and wide-open sky kept her company. Georgia would take her pencil and sketch pad with her and draw the things she saw: raindrops, flowers in the field, leaves on the trees, birds in the sky, and animals in the pastures. The shapes and patterns of these things stood out to her. Georgia tried hard to capture them on paper. In 1901, just before she was 14, Georgia was sent to a Catholic boarding school outside Madison, Wisconsin. Madison was about 13 miles away from the O'Keeffe farm. The school was just for girls, and it was run by nuns. The rules at the school were strict, but Georgia didn't mind. She studied hard and won awards in several classes, including a gold pin for drawing. On Sundays at the school, the girls had to dress entirely in black. Most of them didn't like having to wear plain, all-black clothing. But Georgia felt comfortable dressed so simply. It was a look that she used for much of the rest of her life. The next year, Georgia and her older brother, Francis, were sent to a big public high school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where they lived with their Aunt Lola. In high school, Georgia wasn't really interested in many of her classes, except her art classes.